Hey, ayan pala. Sorry, I was on mute pala. Hello and good evening, everybody, and welcome to our webinar. Tonight, we are continuing our Fast Forward to 2021 webinar series. This is a free webinar series, hopefully to transition you to the next year, to the beginning of the year 2021. Today, we're talking about Photoshop Essentials. Okay, last week, nag-break tayo. We didn't have a webinar last week. I know we've had 4 webinars sa October, tapos last week nag-break tayo. And we're having 4 more live and free. Hindi lang live, pero free webinars in November as well. Now, what did you do last week? What did you do last week habang nag-break tayo, habang wala tayo ng webinar? I hope that you've been updating your portfolio. Diba? We've been sending you free certificates to you guys. And you're doing your assignments. Hopefully, you've been updating your portfolio from the webinars. Okay. All right. Are you excited for tonight's webinar? Please comment down below. Please say hi. Please say good evening. Let me know where you're watching from. And it would be great if you shared this webinar with other people. Then share it sa Facebook wall nyo. We'd really appreciate it. Once again, we're doing these webinars for free. So any kind of help that you can do, if you want to, pay it forward, share it with other people din. Okay, so yes, tonight, Photoshop Essentials. Let me look at the comments here. Karina has used it a little bit. Oh yeah, ang daming comments. Hello, Eve, hello, Dexter. I can't see all the comments kasi ang dami pala. Georgeline, Dexter, Anne, Shena. Oh, okay. Walang audio. Okay. Ayun. May audio na. Sorry guys, may technical issue. Pero we should have audio right now. Okay. We are back. Sorry, just had a technical issue. Naka-glitch ng konti. Pero may audio na ngayon. Alright, so, yes, I see the comments. Ayun, okay na. Thank you for letting me know. Naka-auto-mute pala yung audio ko, pero it's fine right now. Alright, if you didn't get your certificate, I saw somebody mention earlier, hindi niya na-receive yung certificate. Please send us an email, and yeah, we've been sending out the certificates, so send us an email if you haven't received the certificates. Sabi ni George, I'm studying Photoshop through YouTube tutorials, and it's really very complicated. Complex talaga yung mga software. That's why, you have to study them, you have to learn them, you have to enroll in courses, you have to take mga tutorials to learn these different skills, to learn these different softwares. And Brian, yeah, thank you. Helen, yes, okay na. Alright, now, did you do last webinar's assignment? If you were there, this was 2 weeks ago. We took a break last week, so I want to ask you, did you do last webinar's assignment? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments down below if you took the assignment. Or baka first time nyo, baka this is the first time that you're joining us for the webinar and you weren't able to join the previous ones. We do have the replays on the Facebook page. But if you did do last webinar's assignment, let us know. Let us congratulate you. I want to congratulate everyone who's been doing the assignments, who's been getting the certificates, who've been completing all the action items. Because I'm proud of you for doing that. Diba? It's not easy to do it. Diba? Ang dami nating gawin every single day, and it's not easy. Oh, ang dami. Oh, I'm great job, Lizzie, Vien, Shanna, Beatrice, Ange, Eden. Oh, dami. Oh, those who did the assignment. And now, just to remind everyone once again, we have our Fast Forward to 2021 webinar series for, we want to We want you guys to have new skills, to have better opportunities, and to get new clients. That's why we're doing this, diba? 2020 has been a very challenging year, so we're moving onwards to the year 2021. We won't dwell sa mga challenges na naranasan natin the past year, but let's move forward, let's move on, diba? Sabi nila, move on na tayo, diba? May hugot. We're down right now, baka sad ka ngayon, baka things aren't going so well, but don't let yourself down. Webinar to equip you and to prepare you for the year 2021 with a niche like graphic design. And kahit hindi ka graphic designer, even if you don't want to be a graphic designer, this is still good skills to learn and good skills to offer to your portfolio. So, do you want to move forward together? Do you want to say yes? Say yes. Yes, just say yes. Yes to new skills. Do you want to say yes to better opportunities? Do you want to say yes to new clients? Let me know in the comment section if that's something that you're going to say yes to. So let's move forward. Let's move forward together. Ayun, yes. Yes, guys. And let's move forward to the year 2021 because that's our advocacy dito sa VA Bootcamp is to help improve Filipino lives through freelancing education. And that's what we're doing right now sa mga free webinars, sa mga paid courses natin, sa mga free courses natin. Okay, now to maximize the webinar, I want you to get the most that you can out of this webinar. Okay, I want you to be able to really learn something. And so I'm going to ask you to take, number one, to take notes. I want you to take notes. Second, I want you to take action. Hindi lang kayo attend ng hindi lang kayo nod ng webinar, but I want you to actually take action. And third, I want you to take your friends with you. Share this with your friends. Share this on your Facebook wall. Share this with them. Tag them down in the comment section down below so that, yes, you can get the most out of this webinar. Ayun, sorry if you didn't submit the assignment. May deadlines usually in assignments, so if you didn't submit them, you won't be able to get them. VA Bootcamp is part of my career advancement. Sabi ni Michi, great to hear. Great to hear. Now, of course, I want you to stay until the end. We do have a certificate. A lot of you guys have been getting your certificates, diba? I see some people who said na hindi na receive, pero the other people, have you been getting your certificates? And I guess if you've gotten your certificates, have you been adding them to your portfolio dun sa Upwork, dun sa online jobs.ph and different freelancing platforms? Have you been doing that? Okay, so we have another certificate tonight, and we want you to stay until the end of this webinar so that we have an assignment for you. We have an assignment for you to practice your own skills so that you can get this certificate, okay? And once again, we have a quick disclaimer over here. You know, we're hosting a lot of free webinars. We have, of course, today is Photoshop Essentials. Next week, we're talking about search engine optimization in a nutshell. The week after that, we're talking about the basics of bookkeeping. And then finally, marketing your freelancing skills on November 28th. And disclaimer, I'm not alone in doing this. We have a whole team. I have a whole team behind me who helps with the content, who helps with the promotion, who helps with everything here. And I just want to say thank you, and maybe you can say thank you then to the entire VA Bootcamp team. You know, my job is just to talk to you guys. Madali lang yung trabaho ko pala. It's just to talk to you guys. But there is a whole team behind me that helps with everything. So, and this content comes from actual VAs. A lot of this content comes from mga students natin who are doing these things every day. So what you learn here is fresh. Okay, what you learn here is new. And yung disclaimer ko lang dito is that I'm not a Photoshop expert. Okay, I'm actually hindi naman ako magaling sa Photoshop. But I'm the one presenting kasi shy daw sila. Ayaw nila magpakita. So, and some of them they're protecting their work. May mga NDA sila a lot of the times. And of course, that's my job is to train naman. So, doon ako magaling. Hindi ako magaling sa Photoshop, pero I think magaling naman ako mag-train, di ba? Magaling ba? Are you guys learning anything in these webinars? I hope so. So yes. So, just disclaimer, I'm not an expert. You might know more than me. I know there are some of you guys who use Photoshop maybe on a daily basis, and baka mas expert kayo. And if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, if you have yung mga recommendations or better ways to do things than what we're talking about tonight, type it down in the comment section. Let me know then. Okay? Let us know then so that we can share. Kasi ito naman ginagawa natin. to share, right? Basta Cebuano maayo gyud. Oh, basta Bisaya maayo gyud na. All right. Here, thank you to the VA Bootcamp team. All right. So going on to our coverage for today. Ito na yung main topic natin ngayon. We're covering the important Photoshop tools. Teka, tingnan ko muna mga comments. Thank you. Ang daming nag-thank you sa mga team. So, thank you. Ang daming grateful, guys, mga team members who are watching. Ang daming grateful for what we've been doing. Yan. Excited. Ang daming excited. Thank you, thank you. Naman. Magaling. Learn a lot. Maraming salamat. Are you required? No, you're not required to watch the past webinars, Jeff. You can just watch this one. It's fine. Baka hindi kayo interesado sa past webinars, or if it's not applicable to you, no problem at all. You're welcome. Thank you for that connection. You're welcome, guys. Magaling. That's my niche. Learning to. All right. Let's go ahead and cover tonight's topic. Our coverage for tonight. Number 1 is the important Photoshop tools. Okay, basics on coverage natin. For Photoshop. I know a lot of you are newbies to Photoshop. There are a lot of more complicated things that you can do. Pero coverage natin is yung mga basics lang. And yung mga things that most likely na gagawin mo as a VA or as a mga new na designer, new na photo editor. Okay, we're talking about the important Photoshop tools. We're talking about how to remove a background. Tapos how to change a background. Mga basic text manipulation. And best practices, and of course transitioning to graphic design din. Okay, so these are the different things that we're talking about tonight. Now, we talked about what a VA is before, what a virtual assistant is before, pero just kind of to give a quick refresher, a virtual assistant, it's like an office secretary or an executive assistant, pero online lang, di ba? When we say executive assistant in person, dito online. And the main goal of a virtual assistant is to help business owners. Okay, so if you're a VA, you want to help your clients, you want to make their day-to-day lives easier and simpler. And we talked about how virtual assistants help sa e-commerce, sa Amazon Seller Central. We talked about that 2 weeks ago. And here is another skill na I feel is important for VAs, kahit virtual assistant, especially if you're working with e-commerce. Okay, especially because, well, with graphic design, diba? We're working with graphic design and basic Photoshop. Photoshop is a very popular tool for photo editing. Of course, may Canva to make things easier. Pero Photoshop is still a very sought after, hinahanap na skill in virtual assistants. And you'll be encountering mga jobs like this. Melis, send me an email if you can't open it para we can check on and see what's going on. Okay, you'll see encounter jobs like this. Job posts na need a photo of a product edited. Beverage company, inom na ako ng tubig. I have a beverage company and I want professionally edited photos of my product for the website. I have over 6 different flavors. A lot of the colors are very similar, so I can only have 4 different colored products for you to edit. I would like the images lightened with a white background, no shadow. I don't want shadows or glare, so I'm content editing. I took a lot of photos. I wasn't sure which would look best. Yellow beverage, plain background, and then he wants to have different mga backgrounds. So ito, yung may content editing, pero he wants ito light pink beverage with sea moss around it. So you add mga things around it, add mga backgrounds, mga elements, and this is included in what we're talking about tonight. Not in too much detail, pero adding yung mga things and removing things from pictures din. Second, Photoshop VA wanted to work on multiple edits. Photoshop confident VA to work on multiple edits, wanted ASAP, today talaga. Demanding naman. Demanding masyado si Kuya, di ba? Super simple and fun job to complete. Ongoing work for the right candidates. So VA that can do mga photo edits, mga Photoshop edits. Photoshop for car pictures, image editing or retouching. Retouching and editing the following 6 images for editing purposes. In some photos, you will notice dirt and scratches on the car. So mga basic cleaning up, improve the overall look, make them look high quality, and blur the plates. May mga pictures that they want, mga background parts that they want to blur as well. So we have these different kinds of job posts that we're gonna see. Some of these job posts are itong job post na pinakita natin, they say Photoshop, pero hindi naman kailangan Photoshop ang gagamitin mo. You can still use Canva. You can use Affinity Photo. Actually, I use Affinity Photo kasi mas mura siya. And I paid for the software. But Photoshop is also okay. But yung most common na people know is Photoshop talaga. When you say photo editing, Photoshop agad. Kaya Photoshop is what's here, pero you don't need to use it. But it's also nice to know it. Okay, one common goal for clients who need Photoshop work is for e-commerce stores. Right? Like, one big example is removing mga Chinese logos from mga Alibaba pictures. Okay, so here's one example over here. Who has Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, Excel knowledge. I need a patient assistant with attention to details, sense of design, helps them light, Photoshop, quick learner, giving you a project task, project work together. With the right fit, you'll be filling up our work pipeline with hours increase. And over here at the bottom, VA with Photoshop, and then is familiar with Shopify. So what you'll be doing is yung mga product photos, a lot of the times, you'll be blurring the background, you'll be changing the background, you'll be removing yung mga logos ng mga Chinese brands and things like that. Kasi pwede gamitin sa mga stores. Okay. Now, this one, okay, we have an example over here. Photoshop for e-commerce. So you'll be uploading mga pictures on mga stores like Shopify, WooCommerce, and Amazon, and eBay, and so on. One of the most common tasks you'll encounter is doing these things, just preparing the images for uploading. Okay, just to give you an idea, baka you're thinking, oh, I'm a VA, I'm not sure how I'm gonna use photo editing, how I'm gonna use Photoshop. Here, this is how you can use Photoshop. Na when you're helping a client, sometimes they take their own pictures. Alam mo naman, diba? We have our own Lazada and Shopee sellers, right? They take their own pictures, and your job is to remove the background, to blur, to clean them up, and to upload them into these different platforms. Okay. Once again, you can use Canva, you can Photoshop, you can use Affinity. It's okay. Now, if you're already an expert, it's okay. We're just covering the basics tonight. So if you're an expert, that's fine. But it is not really applicable for you. What you can do, like I mentioned earlier, is help them. Help yung mga newbies natin when it comes to Photoshop. You're welcome, Chris. Thank you daw siya. Okay, baka may send an email, guys. Send an email if there's a problem with the certificates, because we can't really help you here. Not right now, because I'm in the middle of a webinar. Okay, so let's look at Photoshop. Okay, so I currently have Photoshop the 2020 over here installed. Bakit nawala? Okay, wait lang. Give me one moment. Nag-crash ata yung Photoshop. Oh no. May problema yung Photoshop ko. Photoshop naman to, timing. So I have Photoshop here, pero ayaw niya mag-open. Give me one moment, guys. Sorry about this. Okay. I'll have to kill the task and reopen it. Sige. Pero when we have Photoshop, when we're looking at Photoshop, we have a workspace over here. Buksan ko ulit yung Photoshop. And I want to show you the actual, hindi lang yung slides. Kasi may slides tayo, pero I want to actually show you the actual here. Okay, so it's gonna open Photoshop. Alright. And here we go. Ayan, so let me screen share this here. Okay. Okay, so when you open Photoshop, ito na si Photoshop. Ito na, guys, totoo na to. When you open Photoshop, you can drag and drop an image here, or you can select one from your computer. So you can create a new image if you're looking over here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new image, and here you can choose the size of the image. Now I won't go over everything here, pero most of the time we're gonna be using pixels if it's an online image, and then here is the width and the height. Okay, and everything else I'm gonna leave as default. So here is the basic Photoshop na interface na makikita nyo. Okay, it seems to be fine over here. At the very top, this is the menu bar. So yung mga file, edit, yeah, you can't really read it, but there's a file edit, and there are mga buttons din. There are mga buttons underneath that. Okay, over here. Well, if you're looking at my yung blue part sa PowerPoint slides ko. Okay. On the right side is the collapse panels. We have different panels over here that we can open like this. If you want more detail, we can collapse them like that. Ito yung parang purple in the upper right. Okay. We have the color panel to help us choose a color here. Help us choose our colors. We have our layers panel as well over here. Importante yung layers. Okay, these are very important because when we're dealing with different elements sa Photoshop, different parang parts of an image in Photoshop, so try to imagine different pieces of paper. Okay, so yung layers natin, example, you have one piece of paper, you put it on top, so yung makikita mo is the paper that's on the topmost. Or if you have cutout, let's say you have a cutout of a ball, yun ang makikita mo, and then yung background like behind it. So that's how layers are. They go on top of each other, and the one behind it is the one na hindi masyadong kita. Okay, so if you have a picture of a cutout of a basketball player, a cutout of a ball, good. So you determine which goes on top, and you have some text that goes on top of that. So that's where the layers are important. You want to arrange them, what is on top and what is below. Okay, so that's what the layers are. On the left side, we have the toolbar, and we see all the different tools. We won't be using all the tools. Okay, ang daming tools dito. We won't be using all of them. Pero at the left side is what we have, the toolbar. Okay. First thing we're going to talk about is how to remove a background. Before and after. Okay, ito yung before, ito yung after. I hope that this is okay for you guys. Yung demo ko dito. Okay, I'm just gonna increase it here. So I have the picture of a dog. Ang cute ng aso, no? I have a picture of a dog over here. Wait. And I'll just bring it in to Photoshop right now. So this is a dog. For those of you that aren't familiar with a dog, this is a dog. And on the left side panel, I'm gonna choose a tool. Okay. Now what I did, I can zoom in and zoom out. Yung default tool, the first tool that's highlighted over here, is the move tool. So this helps us move elements. This helps us move elements around. If we have an element, like if we could control the dog, we can move it around. And that's a default tool. To zoom in and zoom out, I'm gonna hold the Alt button on my keyboard and zoom in and zoom out like that. Now, there are different ways to remove a background. So, let's say your client is selling dogs. Paano ba yun? Paano ba ipapadala yung aso? Let's say the client is selling dogs and you need to remove the background here. So, there are different tools that we can use. On the left side, if we go to the eraser tool here, okay, or we press E, so as you can see, you can probably see the pop out here, eraser tool, and then there's a background eraser tool that I can choose. On the leftmost side here, eraser tool and background eraser tool. So on the background eraser tool, what I can do is it'll automatically erase what it thinks the background is, pero it's not always that accurate. So I try to, there's a tolerance here. Ang ibig sabihin ng tolerance is how strict Photoshop's, yung may artificial intelligence si Photoshop in determining ano yung background and ano yung foreground. Foreground meaning what should be remaining, what's the main subject of the image. Okay, so if we change the tolerance here, then we can by default we can kind of just move around the dog here and erase the background. And we can adjust the tolerance to be higher or lower. We can Control Z if you make a mistake, like that. But what I prefer actually using is the magic wand. So over here, the fourth tool on the toolbar is usually the magic wand, or if you press W on your keyboard, you'll see what we call the magic wand tool. Okay, so with the magic wand tool, what it does is it automatically selects different parts based on, once again, yung artificial intelligence niya. So right now, you can see here, I'm not sure if you can see it, pero malabo ba? Let me try to kind of zoom it in for you, ha. Okay. I'm not sure if this will be better. Okay. So I hope that's better. And then I use this magic wand tool over here and highlighted the background. So you can probably see these lines, these squiggly lines over here na dot dot dot. Okay, and I can just delete it from there. Okay, so I can press, I can select different areas over here and delete them, right? So I can select this, and using what it does is it looks for patterns of the same color, of the same shade that it can select. All right, before editing, what I have to do is I have to change this thing into an editable image. Okay, wait, let me just move this over here. Oh, but I can select and over here. Now, first of all, let me create a background dito, a background layer. I'll have to unlock the existing layer and create a background layer. So on the top layer is this dog, and the background layer I will make it just something that's transparent over here. And then with the magic wand tool, I can select the layer I'm going to edit in the layers panel on the right side. Okay. In the layers panel on the right side, I'm select the layer that I'm going to edit and choose the area that I'm editing. Okay, so as you can see here, there's this jagged line that's moving, and then I can press the delete button. Ayan, it's gone. Automatic, diba? Magic, kaya magic wand. You can see it. You can see the layer panel now. Okay, and over here, like I can highlight this area, and if I want to highlight multiple areas on the time, what I'll do is hold the shift button on my keyboard and click on multiple areas like that. Oh, ito. Ayan. Shift and delete on my keyboard. Okay, ayan. Nice, no? And what it's doing is it's selecting, like I mentioned earlier, it's selecting areas based on parang yung artificial intelligence niya. Okay, and then I can click on more, click, click. Okay, and just add more sections here. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. And click here. Okay, and then delete. Oh, diba? Galing, diba? And then these things over here, may mga konting mga parang dirt. These are easy to delete na because I can just delete all of them. So over here, let me choose the second tool here, the marquee tool, that I can select an area and then just delete the whole thing like that. I can just select an area and just delete the whole thing. And then I can go to my eraser tool. Ang daming kasing tools. Nakakalito minsan. I'll just press E to go to my eraser tool and just do an erase over here. Okay. I erased the tongue by accident, so I'm just going to press Control Z on my keyboard to undo that. And then I can erase this part, these sections right there. Ayan. So I already have, I have the before and after. So before we had the dog with the grass, and now, well, after. So I'm just gonna change layer 1 because it's transparent. What this means is gray and white boxes mean it's transparent. So I'm just gonna change it to white. I'm gonna use the fill tool, over here, the paint bucket tool on the letter G, paint bucket tool, and let me color it white. Ayan, and layer 1 is white, and I can just erase these other. Let me choose the right layer to edit, layer 0, and I can just erase itong mga parang may mga dirt na naiwan. Ayun. So there, we have our before and after, right? We have our before and after right there. If you, let me just edit this. Let me just adjust the window so that you can see Photoshop. The PowerPoint over here. Have you guys tried doing this before? Sino bang may experience dito sa ganito? Sa mga editing photos like this, na removing background. And this is something that can be very useful. How can you make the image editable? So good question, Tess. Earlier, there was a lock sign. I'm not on the layers panel. My mouse is over here on the lock, and you can unlock it. You can unlock that to edit the layer. Minsan, minsan you'll have to what we call rasterize a layer. Okay, so you can right click on a layer and rasterize it. Because of yung formatting, I won't really dive deep into it. Pero if you right click on the layers and then you'll see rasterize layer, then you can also make it editable. Or if may lock siya, you can click on the lock to unlock it. Okay, not yet. Na-try pa yung college pa. Okay, so there, we have that. Alright, and then now that we've removed the background, we can use any background. Okay, we can use any background. And this is, right now we have a dog, diba? Pero this is useful for, like the job opening earlier na may soft drink siya, may drink siya that he's selling. You can change the image. Okay, so let me just drag an image here. Okay, so may spaceship. Let's say doggy in space. Let me just adjust that. Press enter to finalize my adjustments. Move it here. Pero nasa harap siya. What happened to my dog? Can anyone tell me what happened to my dog? My dog, agad no. What happened to the dog? Saan ba siya? Okay, try to figure it out. How do I make the dog appear in front? Well, dito yung layers panel. I'm not gonna wait for you guys to answer. I'm sure you guys have answered na. Pero on the right side, we had the layers panel. Diba I talked about yung pieces of paper? I put down a new piece of paper na yung spaceship. So, natakpan si doggy, diba? So what I'm gonna do is, on the layers panel, I'm gonna move the doggy layer at the very top. Ayan na si doggy. Nasa spaceship siya, diba? Ang cute, diba? Oo. Dog in space na siya. Sige. And then, adjust layers. Ayan. Bottom layer, naging background. Good. Great job. You guys know what it is. We talked about the papers. Ito, may red brick na tayo. May brick background. So, like I said earlier, this is useful when we're dealing with products. Because you can you can remove, like if somebody takes a picture, if they're selling, rainbow keyboards, like this one. One of my keyboards, it's a rainbow keyboard. And then holding it like this, diba? Holding like this, pinicture niya. Now you can use the magic wand or the background eraser tool to erase the background, change it na, let's say, black yung background or red yung background. Pwedeng ganun, diba? Yung app na to ginamit ko is Photoshop. Photoshop is what I'm using right now. And you can get, hindi naman free, pero you can get a version of Photoshop na hindi free, pero nasa ibang websites na makukuha mo siya. Diba? Okay, so there, that's how you change the background. And like I said, for e-commerce products, it can be very helpful. Diba? Like something like this. Diba? Oh, there. Ayun. Something like this. It can be very helpful, guys. Diba? Okay, so, teka lang, let me transition this window over. Here, like my keyboard. I'm not selling my keyboard, by the way. Just sample lang siya. Okay, so, ayun. Layers. Now, we talked about layers and we'll deal with more layers pa. Here, we can change our dog. We can have multiple layers. Let me drag another image over here. Tanggalin ko muna yung mga, so over here in the layers panel, I can just turn off some of the layers by clicking on itong mata, this eye symbol over here to make them invisible. Okay, so now they're invisible. First of all, we have this girl throwing a frisbee. Okay, and that's the layer on top. Now that's the top layer. Natakban si doggy, dito si doggy, nasa likod ng layer. But I want to just have the frisbee. Okay. Let me zoom in na lang para, I hope the zoom is helpful. I'm just looking at it right now sa preview window ko. Parang ang liit. Pero zoom in muna ako, guys. Or I'll make the window smaller para mas kita nyo. Ito. Teka lang. Uy, yan. Kitang-kita, di ba? Yan, kitang-kita. Okay, there. So we have the picture here. We have a frisbee, and I just want the frisbee. I don't care about the girl. Bahala si ate. I just want the frisbee over here. Let me zoom in. Let me hold the Alt button and use my mouse up to zoom in on the frisbee. And this is all I want. What I can do is I can select the frisbee by pressing the magic wand tool over here. There's the magic wand tool. Let me select the magic wand tool. And I want to select the frisbee lang. I just want to select the frisbee. So let me click here. This is selected. Let me hold the shift button on my keyboard to add. I'm not sure if you can see it in the icon, pero may plus underneath the magic wand. If I hold the Alt, if I press the Alt button, it becomes a minus, so meaning it removes from the selection. If I hold the Shift key, it adds to the selection. So I'm gonna add more and more things. I'm gonna add more and more parts of this frisbee. Ayan. Because I just want the frisbee. Okay. Okay. And I'm zoomed in a lot. I'm just clicking, holding the Shift button on my keyboard to add more sections in this magic wand selection. And if I don't like that, it got too much, I'll just hold Alt and click on the section. Ito is okay na. And click on the section that I want to remove. I'll hold Shift and click on the section I want to add. Para masyadong round. Okay, okay. This looks kind of round, frisbee-ish. But right now, if I click on delete, wait lang. Let me close this group muna and adjust kasi pinapalit ko yung ano. I made the windows smaller so nawala yung panels ko. Okay, okay. Now I have my layers panel. Okay, so if I wanted to, right now I can't delete. This is a problem na I'm pressing delete on my keyboard pero hindi siya ma-delete kasi the object, the smart object, is sabi niya is not editable. It's not editable. So what I need to do is right click on the layer here. Hindi pala kita yung right click. Pero and then rasterize it. May option dun. You don't see it, pero once you right click on the layer in the layers panel, you can choose the rasterized layer and now I can delete. Oh, pero si frisbee ang na-delete. So I wanted to delete everything else, diba? Si frisbee ang na-delete. What I can do is I can right click on the frisbee, on the object I selected. I highlighted the object, and then there is an option to select inverse. Okay, you don't see the right click panel pala on the share, but there's an option to select inverse. So meaning select inverse means it selects everything else aside from the object that you selected. So baliktarin niya, inverse, diba? So now earlier the frisbee was selected. I right clicked and selected select inverse, and now everything else is selected and I can delete that. Ayun. So nawala na si ate. Ito na, si frisbee na lang and yung aso. Okay, and now I can I can press Control D on my keyboard because it's still the section here is still highlighted. It's still highlighted. I can just unselect, pero a faster way is Control D on my keyboard, and then ayan na yung aso. But it's a bit small, diba? It's a bit small here. I need to make the frisbee bigger. Kasi parang candy lang, diba? Kakainin niya lang. So I need to make the frisbee bigger. According to ito. Anong gusto ni client na picture? Gusto ni client na picture is the after one. So I need to make this frisbee bigger. So with the move tool selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform. Tawagin natin transform this frisbee over here. Okay. If you look at my layers panel, you'll see the top layer is blonde girl throwing frisbee. Wala na si blonde girl, so frisbee na lang. And second layer over here is a dog. And we have these backgrounds which I made invisible. So I'm going to need to transform this frisbee to make it bigger. Okay. There are a few ways I can do that. Over at the very top, there's this checkbox right here that says show transform controls. Okay. So if I click that here, now the frisbee has these white boxes around it. I'll turn on the spaceship para mas kita nyo. This frisbee has white boxes around it that allows me to transform it. So let me make it a bit bigger and then move it here. Para it's almost like anong gusto ni client. Okay. Okay, diba? Pwede na ba? Ano? What do you think? Pwede na ba to? And then I'll pull in the background na beach. Press enter. Ito na. We have it. Oy, move ko lang yung background kasi may ano. Ayan. So the dog is now on the beach. Ayan. Wait, I need to move this a little bit down ng konti. And around here para to copy and to make it a bit smaller. Tama ba? Parang ganito lang. Ayan. Okay na to. Okay, we can submit this to the client na. Ito yata yung gusto niya. Okay, so we've finally done the before and after. Ayan, so we've manipulated different images. We've worked with layers in order to create the image. So from the dog image, diba? From the dog image, itong frisbee, we just got it on a picture off the internet. Itong beach din, picture off the internet. Pero yung main event dito is this dog over here, which we can move, which we can make bigger and smaller, and change the backgrounds. Once again, this is really good for e-commerce pictures, even for website pictures na gusto mo tanggalin yung background or palitan yung background. That's really nice. Free to download po yung Photoshop. There are websites that you can get Photoshop. Hindi siya free, may bayad siya, pero may mga areas that you can. Adobe Photoshop Express doesn't have these tools. Masyadong complex yung tools na ginagamit natin dito. Photoshop Express, very, very simple lang. I'm not sure if you can remove backgrounds. I haven't used Photoshop Express in a long time, but I'm not sure if you can remove backgrounds. You can try it. May 30-day free trial. If you go on the official Adobe website, may 30-day free trial naman yung Photoshop. And I think after that, it's 500 pesos a month. If you go there. And there are, of course, other ways na we won't talk about na paanong saan mo makukuha. But yes, this is how you use Photoshop. I'm just looking at the questions here. Complete po ba yung tools ng... when the ones you download, complete naman yung tools. Okay, so that's layers. That's understanding layers. Let me just move this window here para kita si PowerPoint naman. Okay, and then remove and move objects. Ayun, this is easy for us na. Once we have this image, since it's already in different layers, there's the frisbee layer, there's the dog layer, there's the beach layer. Then we have multiple layers. We can just delete or hide a layer. We don't need to delete it. We can just hide it here in the layers panel. Click the I button para mawala. And see dog. How do we flip the dog? It's hard to flip the dog, diba? Pero we can flip the dog. If we can easily transform this dog. If we go to the image at the top, you don't see it pala. At the image at the very top, if you click on image, the image menu here, there's an image rotation, and then you can rotate horizontal. Ayan, rotate horizontal. Ay, nasama yung beach. So let me just lock the beach, and then nasama. We don't want to rotate that. We can, let me just what's an easier way to do it? Okay. There is another way to do it. A layer. Ito si layer. We need to rotate the layer. Or I can just transform it. This is one way to do it, but not the best way to do it, diba? Wait. We can transform it, and let me transform controls. See layer, see select. We can rotate it. Saan ba to? Let me hide this first. And in the image, adjustments, in the layer, saan ba dito? Saan ba dito yung yung there's a flip 180 ginamit ko last time. Where is that? Edit. It's not there. Layer 0. Let me isolate. Oh. Thumbnails, blending options, and I need to flip it. So does anyone? A 7 days trial lang pala. T is for text. Wait. On the toolbars, but I want to flip. I want to flip him to be facing that way. Hang on. Right. Oh, here. Right click. Right. Didn't see it here. Right click the image. Thank you. And then flip horizontal. Ayan. I had the wrong one selected earlier. And now we have, so I right click the image and click flip horizontal, and now we flip the dog. Yung dog lang, hindi kasama yung beach. Kasi earlier, nasama yung beach when we do the image. But if we just focus on the image here, we can right-click and flip horizontal. Ayan. Okay, also in edit. Edit. It's also in the edit menu and flip horizontal. Okay, so we move the dog, we've edited it. Sometimes when I'm editing, I use Google then to find out how to figure out things. Just like right now, may konting tulong. Okay, let's now deal with some basic text. Let me create a new blank canvas over here, and then we can use text. We can manipulate text, and this is useful if, for example, we want text moving around this dog. So I won't use the example here. Let's say my example is this is a dog. Okay, ito. May text tayo that says this is a dog. So how we're gonna do that? Let me delete that. On the left side panel, there's a text tool, horizontal text tool, and let me move this over here para mas kita siya. The horizontal text tool. There's also a vertical text tool, pero let's use the horizontal text tool, and let's say this is a dog. Okay, this is a dog. Ayan, this is a dog, and then I can just adjust the size of this text right now, and then ito. This is a dog. Aso to, diba? This is a dog. Now, if I go, this is the move tool at the very top. I'm using the move tool to move it around. But if I want to change the text, I'll have to change back to the text tool. If I want to manipulate the text, I go back to the text tool over here. Or I can also double click on the text. Okay? Now, I don't really like it like this. I want it to kind of curve. To kind of curve around the dog, around his head. Sabihin natin, around his head. Let me just change the background here para mas kita. Okay, and then let me double click, and then up at the very top here, you can see there's warped text. Create warped text, and then I can there are different options to create warped text. So I can do that. This is a dog. Ayan. So once again, to do that, just click on this create warp text panel, and then may options na you can't really see in this window, pero with those options you can create this warp text around the dog. Ayan, this is a dog. So that's pretty nice, diba? That's pretty nice. A pretty nice tool that we can use. Another thing we can do is, aside from that, let me create a text path. So aside from that, I can even draw a path for text to follow. Okay, so let's say I want this, I won't use this tool. Let me use freeform pen tool. There we go. So I'll use a freeform pen tool to kind of draw around here. And over here in the options, I'm going to choose that this is not a shape. There's my option for shape, but it's not a shape. It's a path. I know a lot because I changed it. It's a path. Okay, so this is a path right now. There's a path right here, and then I can use the text here. I select the text tool, and I can type on this path. So I can type, this is my favorite dog. Ayan, diba? Nice, diba? And I can make it bigger. I can, let me make the text bigger. Press T on, use the text tool over here, and then highlight all the text, Control A, and at the very top here, I can change the font size. Ay, masyadong cramped. Let me do 18. Masyadong cramped. Actually, pangit yung path na ginamit ko. It's a bad path that I drew. Sorry, masyadong pangit yung drawing ko. Pero, ayun, you can see that I was able to kind of, in a weird way, put the text over here. Put the text to follow around what we call a path. And you can make paths out of any shape. You can make circles, you can make squares, you can make hearts, rectangles, and so on. Like, you can make this whole thing around the dog a single path and just write around it. Ayan. There's a replay, guys. Don't worry. don't worry if you don't see it. You can if you just arrived now, there's a replay din for this webinar. Okay. So that's how you remove background. That's how you do text manipulation, and this is useful. Once again, you can remove backgrounds, manipulate the image. When we're especially if we're talking about e-commerce, and you can use text. There are different fonts. This is just a basic font, but there are a lot of different fonts that we can use. Let me just change the scene over here. There are a lot of different fonts that we can use. You can go to fonts.google.com, search for many different fonts that are nice, that maybe you want to apply to the client's website, the client's images, that are really good then. You can also go to designshack.net. There are mga paid fonts na ang ganda ng mga paid fonts. No, haha, for the path. Ang pangit ng drawing ko sa path, di ba? Pero you get the idea, di ba? You can just draw and then turn it into a path and add text there. Pero my path is pretty ugly. Hindi ako graphic artist, okay? I just know some basics in Photoshop. Yeah, going back. If you need fonts, you can also go to designshack.net. And if you want to specialize in graphic design, okay? Ako, I'm not specializing. I just know some very basics because yung mga basic image manipulation, like removing the backgrounds, diba? Manipulating the images, using layers, manipulating text, making shapes, making paths. Okay, you can keep, if you want to specialize, keep practicing and look out for great designs around you. You know, also don't copy other materials. Use them for inspiration, but make designs your own. Okay, this is from some tips from those students of ours that actually practice mga graphic design. Okay, so that's what we covered today. We covered some really basic stuff within Photoshop, and I hope you got something. Okay, we talked about some important Photoshop tools, how to remove a background, how to change a background, basic text manipulation, and some best practices. We have some more time here, so let's play around here a little bit with my doggy. Okay, ito si doggy, and a few more things I wanted to show you actually. So let's zoom into this dog, hold the Alt key, zoom in like that. And if you look very, very closely actually, remember this dog used to be on a green background. So if you look very, very closely here, you can still see may mga green pa, diba? May konti-konting, of course you can't see it, diba? And you don't really need to edit it. Pero, let's say, sobrang arte si client, or ikaw sobrang arte, you want to remove it like that. Oh, may green pa, may green pa. You can use the eraser if you want. The eraser tool over here. Let me highlight the layer I want to edit. And you can use the eraser tool like that, okay? You can zoom in really close and then use the eraser tool. Oh, pwede, diba? But there are other tools that you can use too. There's a blur tool if you want to just, masyado kang tamad, you don't want to zoom in, go pixel by pixel, so you can just parang blur this out. I'm just holding down the mouse and blurring it para yung mga mistakes mo hindi masyadong halata. That's what you do, blur it out na lang like that. So yung edges niya blurred, there's a smudge tool which is parang more, it's you're pushing the color out. I'm killing the dog now actually. Ano nangyari ng aso? Ang pangit. Parang may buhok siya dito. Okay, so that's the smudge tool where you're pulling na. You're not just blurring. Blurring parang ginanon mo, 'di ba, sa paper. Pero smudge, you're really pulling out, 'di ba? That's why the symbol is like this. Now you're smudging it like that. Ayan. And you can even use a dodge and burn tool. And this is to make areas darker or brighter. So right now this is my area is very big, so I can change it over here at the top. There's a size, I can change it to, let's say 15 lang. So I can, if I wanted to brighten a area, I can dodge it. I can dodge this area, use the dodge tool to brighten this area. Ayan. Para blooming si aso. Or I can use the burn tool to make an area darker. To kind of like, this isn't over here, and it's very, very subtle lang, so as you can see, it's not really making it super dark, pero it's just very little adjustment, diba? It's like adding a very small adjustment here. Parang may shadow. Parang may shadow na si Doggy dito. Right there. Ayan. So I've kind of messed up the picture. But I wanted to show you those other tools. There are so many tools in Photoshop. And I've played around with all of these tools. You can play around with them then. It's a lot of fun if you know, during pandemic, wala ka namang gagawin. So there, you can use a lot of these tools here. My favorite, like I mentioned, the magic wand. The magic wand helps you select. Like if I can select the eyes lang ni Doggy. Let me change the tolerance. I mean how strict yung automatic detection niya. And I can zoom in and I just choose the brown parts of his eye like that. And let me alt unselect this part. Ayan. I can delete that, and then I can fill it with red. Paint bucket red, or white pala yung ano ko foreground. Oh, I can make it red. Ayan. But it looks weird, of course. But those are just showing you what's possible within Photoshop. Using the magic wand tool, using the smudge, the blur tool, using the dodge and burn tool also. Those are some really nice things that you can do. Kaluoy sa iro. Gidaog-daog na. I-blur, yung mga mali nyo, i-blur nyo lang, you know. Wag nyo i-edit per pixel kasi ang hirap. Ang hirap. Wala na yung green, di ba? Kasi binablur ko lang yung mga green dito. Wala na yung green. Na-blur ko lang. Dito may green pa. So we can blur it. You can blur it on your own. Kaya na bahala how you're going to blur it. Ayan, killing the dog. Ayan, sige. Pero ang galing talaga. Sa mga gusto magpa-send, willing to share, good here. May photo studio ba yan ang gamit, Sir J? Hindi, ano lang. This is just Photoshop images. Wala nang photo studio. Ayan. Okay. Let me transition over here. So we talked about these things. I just wanted to show you some other tools. That's why we went back to Doggy and killed the doggy softly, slowly. Okay, so these are what we talked about today and talking about graphic design. Now, that's our webinar for today. That's our coverage. Next week, we are covering SEO in a nutshell, search engine optimization. Week after that, we have the basics of bookkeeping and then marketing your freelance skills. Those are webinars you definitely don't want to miss. Okay. So yes, next week, SEO in a nutshell, that's November 14, 2020, search engine optimization, ranking on Google. Dito expert naman ako dito sa search engine optimization. Di katulad ng Photoshop na I'm not too good at it, pero SEO, no more about it. Okay, if you're new to this and you haven't enrolled in our free VA course, I highly recommend you check it out. Yung free VA course natin, we have a lot of courses din online. We have a lot of free information. Yes, may paid courses naman, pero we have a lot of free information like this webinar and mga free courses natin. Look for it in our Facebook group. There are so many free courses from virtual assistant to e-commerce to bookkeeping to web design to social media and so on. Now, we also have here mga testimonials, featured testimonials from some of our students in the paid course of the VA Bootcamp. Like here from Jeline Benitez, sharing my small win this week. Not to brag, gusto ko lang documented dito ng freelancing journey ko. Sabi ko, busy ako to the point na inaayawan ko yung first client ko kasi hindi na kaya ng oras ko. Di ba? Ang laki ng problema niya. Di ba? Ang dami niyang clients, ang dami niyang trabaho na she doesn't want it anymore. Ayun, sobrang dami ng gawin ko. Lalo akong walang masimulan. At dahil na-stress ako, tumambay ako sa online job, nag-apply. Baka nalimutan ko yung mga techniques. Nag-send ako 8 cover letters, isang nag-reply. Tapos, yung nag-reply, pinaka-ayaw niya, graphic design na job. 100 lang dapat yung ibayad ni client. Pero, the client sent her ito, 7,000 pesos. So, may bonus pa siya. Sabi niya, napaka maraming opportunity online. Di ba? So, she applied the cover letter techniques from the VA Bootcamp and got this side project na hindi niya naman main, pero nakuha niya din. You see, Abeljean Fondevilla, when it rains, it pours. Nakatatak na to sa akin, Coach Bong. Bong is one of our coaches din in the Guided Hustle Challenge, and she guided Abeljean and helped her with her cover letters, gave her coaching, part yun sa VA Bootcamp na we have coaches to help you out. Ito, she's talking about first picture after completing yung first trial, she was offered a contract as a social media specialist. Pero ang totoo sa graphics na ako, medyo bongga lang talaga yung title. Second picture, ongoing client from Upwork. nakatuwa na offer agad, no interviews, may offer na siya agad. Both of these proposals are submitted during yung Hustle Challenge, yung part ng VA Bootcamp. Nakaka-proud lang kasi bongga tong Hustle Challenge. Super thankful to our very approachable and helpful coaches. Dati silent reader lang ako sa mga success story at nangangarap na sana ako din. Kung kaya ko, kaya nyo din. Maka-client din kayo. Claim na natin yan. Her 2 clients came from her proposals that she submitted during yung guided hustle challenge that she joined last September, which is part of our VA Bootcamp accelerated and complete packages. So she's a very proud VA Bootcamp student. If you want to join our VA Bootcamp, ito may bayad to. We have, of course, our free courses, pero this is may payment depending on the package that you get. You learn the skills, you get a community, you get coaches to help you out once you join yung Hustle Challenge natin. You can check it out at vabootcamp.ph/enroll. That's vabootcamp.ph/enroll. Okay, so right now, we have an assignment for you to get your certificate. I know you guys, most of you guys are staying on because gusto nyo lang ng certificate, di ba? Yun lang naman. So we have our assignment over here. And we have, wait, let me just check this here. We don't have the link yet. Let me just edit this link. One moment, guys. Hi. And the assignment thread. Okay, going back here. So here, what we want you to do is make a Photoshop project, okay? Whether a banner for your kids, invitation to a virtual party, wala pa tayong in-person party, your own logo for your business, baka may you're starting your freelancing business, a selfie na may photo bomber na gusto nyong tanggalin, pwede. Change the background to a place where you dream to visit. So picture nyo lang, tapos picture nyo sa Paris, diba? Sa Eiffel Tower, pwede. And then I want you to paste the images in our assignment thread. Okay? In our assignment thread, I'm gonna make the assignment thread right now over here so that you can paste the images there. So you want you to yun, what you learned today, utilize it. You don't need to use Photoshop actually because yung mga tools are very similar, but what we want you to do this over here. Well, I'm gonna finish the assignment thread, Photoshop assignment thread. I'm just creating the thread over here, and then post it on the assignment thread. Be sure to put fast forward 2021 in the comment. Deadline for submissions is November 13, and we're gonna start sending out the certificates on November 16. That's next Monday. If you submit after November 13, sorry, you can't get the certificate na. Pero yeah, you can still, of course, learn from this free webinar. Okay, deadline is November 13. Once again, that's this coming Friday. Okay, and you're gonna get this certificate over here if you submit. Not only will you practice, pero makukuha nyo yung certificate nyo. Okay, we answered the questions earlier. Now, we also have a contest. A contest and 3-step contest. We're running contests right now. And yung prize nyo, the prize that you can get is a 500 peso voucher to one of the VA Bootcamp courses. So we have a lot of courses, including the VA Bootcamp itself. So a 500 peso voucher. Do you want to get a 500 peso voucher? Yes or no? And then you can add this to existing discounts as well. So it's stackable, meaning you can add it to other discounts. What you need to do is like and follow the VA Bootcamp page. Take a selfie of yourself watching the webinar. Kahit replay, you can take a selfie. And then share this on your Facebook wall with the following hashtags. VA Bootcamp PE for 2021. Fast forward 2021. And we're going to announce the winners on November 14, 2020. That's next webinar. We're going to announce the winners here. So join the contest so you can get 500 pesos off. Do you guys want 500 pesos off? Gusto nyo ba yung 500 pesos off? Parang free money lang na 500 pesos. So hopefully you want it. Yes, diba? Of course. Okay. Now we have some winners from our last webinar, from the Amazon Seller Center webinar. We have our winners for our contest there. We got 3-month subscription to the tool of your choice. If this is Siri, if you are here, send me an email how to claim it. But we've also reached out then. Siri din kahigan, so just like this, and then she was celebrating her birthday while watching my video. Okay. Not sure if that's the best way to celebrate, pero okay naman. I'm flattered. Just kidding. I'm flattered naman. So, something like this, parang pang Canva lang, sabi ni Aryan May. And she's also one of our winners for the 3-month subscription. Alright. So yes, if you want to get a 500 peso voucher, follow these instructions over here and put in these hashtags. I'm sure, Mahar, can you place the instructions in the... And si Siri, ayan, congratulations Siri, yes, I won. Oh, picture mo dito. So send me an email, and or maybe you can put the mechanics for our next our 500 peso off coupon raffle over here. Okay, so we're gonna close right now. We're a couple of minutes over time, but it's fine. And we're gonna close with a quote from Harvey Mackay, an American businessman and author and syndicated columnist. One surefire way to stay creative is to force yourself to learn something new. Pilitin yung sarili to learn something new, and not just learn, like I mentioned earlier, also practice what you learn. Okay, learn it and practice what you learn. Alright guys, that's it for tonight. I hope you guys learned a lot. Did you guys learn something tonight? Hopefully you learned something, and even better if you learned a lot. Hopefully, and then you can dive right into Photoshop and get your certificate. Practice what we taught you tonight. Do follow the instructions and post in the thread so that you can get your certificate. Thank you so much, guys. Next week, don't forget next week. Next week, we have our upcoming webinar. Saan ba yung picture na yun? Ito. SEO in a nutshell. Same time next week at 8 p.m. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.